What's happening, people? Liverpool Prophet back again with another match reaction. The Champions League is rounded up, and let's get into it. Let's get straight into it today. PSV 3, Liverpool 2. Despite losing, we do still top the Champions League table. We are still due to the next round, which, you know, is the important thing despite the loss. We top the table. I have to say, credit to the boys. In the league, we may be slipping up a bit, but in the Champions League, I think we have looked incredible. You know, winning all our games, losing just one with a youthful team. I think it's brilliant. Beating Madrid, beating the likes of Leverkusen, you know, Milan away, tough. You know, Milan away is always tough, whether it's Inter or AC Milan. Tough places to go. Beating Leipzig away. Girona, who had a good season last year. I think this Champions League campaign has been immense, and, you know, I don't know about some fans, but I personally think that we always seem to do better in the Champions League. I look back on the season, we almost won the quadruple under Jurgen. I know we did challenge City in the league, but for me, we always look better in the Champions League under Jurgen than we did in the Premier League. I don't know why that is. I think maybe that could be the atmosphere at Anfield. At Anfield on European nights is something else. We know that. We know, for me, best stadium in the world on a European night. You don't want to come to us for a second leg because you know what's about to happen. Just ask Barcelona that. But we've always done better in the Champions League. Even if we haven't had a good season in the Prem, you know, we always look at the Champions League as a consolation, which, you know, we have won it 6 times, so we are kind of the big dogs from England in the Champions League. But if we're talking about the game, all in all, I'm not too annoyed at this. I'm not annoyed at all about us losing. I looked at the lineup before the game. A lot of youngsters were playing. Bradley, Quansah, who else? McConnell. There were some proper good youngsters playing. Dolk as well. No, not Dolk. What am I talking about? A lot of youth were playing. Jones played. It was a very useful team that Slot put out, and I have to be honest. I think that was a brilliant decision. Brilliant decision making from Slot, because if, you know, stupidly, if Slot was to play our full strength team, we might have won the game. Actually, we would have won the game, but we could have risked the injury to the likes of a Salah or the likes of a Gravenberch or the likes of a Van Dijk or an Alisson, and we need all of our first team players fresh and fit going into the league games, because we've got tough league games coming up against Bournemouth, Everton, City. So we need the likes of Salah and, you know, all these players fit, ready, and ready to go for them 3 league games, because heavens forbid Salah plays yesterday, or Gravenberch plays, or Alisson, and they pick up an injury and they're out for a couple of months. We're screwed going into them 3 games, because we need them fit for them games. So, like I said, a lot of our fans were very annoyed for some reason about Slot putting out a weak team, which I genuinely don't get it, because, you know, we've topped it. We haven't topped it. We qualified 2 match weeks ago. It was the logical decision to make changes and play a youthful team, give the youngsters some minutes and rest the first team for Saturday against Bournemouth. So why some of our fans are so annoyed about that, I genuinely don't know. We still top the table as well. We finished first, albeit Barcelona drew against Atlanta, but we top the table. We've been the best side in the Champions League this season so far. So I don't get what some of our fans were complaining about us losing the game. You know, we can't win every single game in a season. You know, we're going to draw some, we're going to lose some. It's just the course of nature. You can't win every single game in a season. So, you know, so some of the fans that were annoyed, you know, ask yourself, you know, would you play the likes of Salah or the likes of Virgil in a dead rubber game and risk them getting injured for league games that were important? I don't think you would. So, you know, stop complaining. Yeah, we lost. We still top the Champions League table. We're still through to the next round. Ultimately, it doesn't matter where you finished, 1st to 8th, you know. You all go through to the next round. There's not a trophy for finishing first. You get the trophy when you win the Champions League at the end of the season. So, you know. I will say, though, one strange decision that Slot made was playing Robertson as centre-back. I don't know what that was all about, having Robertson playing at centre-back, because, I'll be honest, centre-back-wise, defensively, on yesterday we were really poor, I'll be honest. The way the PSV were just opening this up, man, it was amateur stuff at times. Bradley as well I didn't have the greatest game, but you know, he's young, so we can't get into him. Kwanzaa, he's the only youngster that I don't really take to. I don't think he's good enough to ultimately become that starter after Virgil and Canate. So, you know, maybe he can prove me wrong, but I don't think he's that player. Robertson at centre back, I gotta be honest, he had a nightmare, man. He had an absolute nightmare. You know, he was getting pulled out of position loads. The striker for PSV was having a field day there, so that's probably the only decision that I don't understand that Slot made, playing Robertson at centre back. It did end up looking at the end of the game. It showed up to be a pretty poor decision from the manager, but all in all, we've topped the table, man. You can't complain. Like, we can't complain. We're top of the table, and we're due to the next round. You know, the likes of City, Madrid have just about scraped through. You know, everyone would have thought Madrid would have topped this table, and City would have been second. But you know, they just about scraped through. You know, the likes of, I'm not sure if PSG scraped through, Bayern are through. Likes of Villa finished high. Leverkusen have done quite well. So, you know, a lot of people weren't, you know, too keen on this new Champions League format, but I think it's a great format. I think it's a really good format, man. A lot more games, a lot more competitive games, and you know, the likes of City, the likes of Madrid are kind of being shown up, because we know Madrid are usually poor in the group stages and they do scrape through, but there's no group stages now, so you have to win every game really to get through. And the likes of Madrid have been shown up a bit. It's thrown up a lot of upsets. You know, teams like Villa, you know, are right at the top. Lille as well, in that top 8. And you got teams like City who are down in 22nd or 18th. Madrid who are 16th. This table has been mad. This Champions League table has been a mad table. I'm just happy that we finished first. Like I said, I think we've been the best team by a mile. I know Barcelona finished second, but I've got to be honest, I do think they did start strong, but after I don't think they've had a great campaign either. They started strong against Bayern, but other than that, I think they've looked really shaky defensively. They've leaked a lot of goals in this campaign. Credit to Arsenal as well. They finished third. You know, they might not be doing too well in the league, but they are doing well in the Champions League, so let's give it to them. So yeah, you know, we're due to the next round. We'll see who we get now in the next round, and up the motherfucking Reg. I'll speak to you guys soon. Bournemouth away on Saturday, a big game. Let's go. Let's get the 3 points and let's go marching on. Liverpool for fit out. I'll speak to you guys soon.